Good afternoon to you, friends. Welcome to this lecture and presentation. The last time we talked about presentations, we talked about preparing good presentations. And in this particular presentation that I want to give you today, I want to refer to those do's and don'ts of PowerPoint presentations. PowerPoint presentations are normally contained in a program, PowerPoint presentations in Microsoft Word. And normally we have slides which are given, and those slides can be tailor-made to suit your needs, to suit your requirements. We normally have space for headings, and where you put your heading, we said last time, you make sure that your presentation heading or title of a slide is big enough such that when you project it onto a wall or screen, it can be vivid enough for people to read, for the public to appreciate. The presenter normally talks into the slides, or discusses the slides, or discusses the information he's willing to discuss, but not necessarily looking at the slides, or not necessarily facing the board, or facing the what we call the screen. So we are saying for a good presentation to be good, the presenter must be comfortable with the presentation. It means you must not be on tension. Once you are tensive, it kills your presentation. You must also connect with the audience. You must look at the audience, look at the people, talk to the people. Don't talk to the board, don't talk to the screen, don't face off the people. You must be audible and free. Sometimes presenters who have killed their presentations, they normally talk to themselves. You can't hear them. You can't know what they are saying. You can't figure out what they are doing. So what happens there, when you are standing in front, like you learned in communication skills, you are supposed to have both verbal and non-verbal cues. You are supposed to make some signs as you talk. You have intonation, and in the intonation, it is very easy for the public to notice that you have points that you are stressing. There are particular items that you want emphasis to be put on, that you want people to realize. So in most cases, what we say here is that avoid talking in a tone that is unpredictable. The people should be able, the public to which you are presenting should be in a position to figure out exactly what you are saying, what you mean, where the stress is, where the points are, without you necessarily telling them that that is a point. Then communicate your message properly and clearly. Don't be ambiguous. Avoid ambiguous language. Then the other qualification of a good presentation is that the presenter meets his or her primary goal. What is the purpose of your presentation must be clearly coming out, or must be vivid enough for people to realize that that is the point you are driving to. Then what we have still of a good presentation, a successful presentation normally has the following. The attendees, or the public, or the audience is normally engaged and entertained. Remember, they may be there to learn, but they will learn with ease, they will learn with involvement. The moment they are not engaged, there is no learning that will be taking place. They will not pay attention to you if they are not clicking, if they are not rhyming with you. Then a successful presentation covers the topic in a very thorough way. It must thoroughly cover the topic. Then the speaker takes into consideration the audience's educational background. Which people are you talking to and what are you saying? Can you vary the language? Can you lessen the weight of the language? Is there any way you can bring it to their level? If it is too technical or too scientific, can you put it in a layman's language so that, or whatever, so that these people can actually consider that the message is theirs? Because once it is complicated or complex, then the audience will not follow you. You must also put into consideration the professional level. You might be talking to people who are doctors. What message are you giving them? How are you saying what you are saying before them? Because you are talking to professionals. And also personal experiences need to be considered when you are presenting. On the other hand, a good presentation normally has slides which contain the right amount of text. The image content for the audience members must also be right. Then we must also have appropriate images and animations. It might turn out to be a boring presentation when we only have text and texts everywhere. Do we just have words and words and words? We need images. We need to see something. We need to figure out what it means or implies in a representative image. And the animations must be reduced as much as possible. Do not use a lot of animations. When you use a lot of animations, it may kill a presentation. Just for example, just imagine if our words were flying in from left to right and the next sentence flies from right to left, then your audience will be swinging to where the words are going and coming from. So in such a situation, too many animations make it a bad presentation. So it has to be avoided. Then the best slide is one where we have very good contrast in the color fonts and the background colors. Black on white, say for example, black fonts on white background is the best. I know there is a lot of color in this world, but do not overcolor the presentation. For example, if you have a blue slide and you have green color for fonts, it will not be vivid, it will not be easy to figure out. People will not see, and therefore they can't follow you. So you must be keen about what kind of colors you are introducing in terms of color of the fonts, color of the background, color of the images that you are putting. Don't put blurred images that are not clear, which we cannot see. Automatically the presenters, the attendees or the audience will not follow you. A bad presentation is normally going to be viewed beginning with the speaker, the one who is presenting. The presenter being inaudible, the presenter hurrying or panicking or fidgeting while in front of the audience, that one kills the presentation. It means you are tensive, you are not ready for the audience. Then if you stumble over concepts, you mix up meanings and the implications of words and whatever you are doing, that one will make your presentation a bad presentation. Do not present disjointed or lagging in some areas. Don't present disjointed information or information that is lagging or lacking. Do not seem to be random, and do not try to accomplish too many things at the same time. A presenter who does that normally has a bad presentation. It's a bad presentation when you have unclear or too many ambiguous goals or aims. If we have any ambiguous aim or goal, that one is a bad presentation. Then going overboard, including too many details, that one is a bad presentation. Remember, this is a PowerPoint slide. and that means you only have bullets and you have a few sentences or a few bullets or presentations. Present just the key points. You don't present everything that is there to talk about. So here we do not want a lot of flesh. Be, as much as possible, be summative. Summarize what you want to say. Just put for us points. That one will be a wonderful presentation. When you give us a whole background and you put the history of everything, then the presentation is gone. Failure to focus on how the study or the solution directly impacts on knowledge, that one makes a presentation a bad presentation. If you have too many bullet points and images, it makes it a bad presentation. Next, we normally have a bad presentation when we have tiny and unreadable fonts. Remember, what you see on the screen of your computer is not actually what appears when you look at the screen, when you project what you want to say or to talk about or you want to give the audience. So I normally tell students that 32 is the size of the heading, 32 to 40 size of the font, or make use of 28 to 30 for the size of the body or the bullets. A bullet where you have written font 12, font 14, 16, below 20 is very tiny. Even on the wall you will be unable to see anything. So a bad presentation is ineffective in presentation and it creates doubt. If a presenter wants to make a good impression, he or she must focus on the subject. If a presenter should create the content in a format that makes the most sense to the audience, then that presenter is on the right track. If a presenter is entertaining and focused, has focused PowerPoint presentations, that one is one who will gain the favor of the audience. If the presenter covers the topic in a simplistic manner and produces desired impacts, that one is a wonderful presenter.